It's time to break down the biggest stories of the day. This is the top 3 stories of the day on KSLSports.com. 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Jacob Ben, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Let's give away some tickets because it's a free ticket Friday. Caller number 12 right now, 801-575-ZONE. We're hooking you up with a pair of tickets to go see Dierks Bentley coming up July 31st at Utah First Credit Union Amphitheater. Get your tickets at livenation.com or simply be the 12th caller right now, 801-575-ZONE. And we will give away another pair of tickets in the 11 o'clock hour, so stay tuned. But right now, it's time for the top 3 stories of the day at KSLSports.com. Brought to you by J. Brooks Jewelers. Cherish your love with J. Brooks Jewelers. Explore their expertly crafted engagement rings made from the finest materials. J. Brooks Jewelers. All right, Christian, where do you want to start today?
Number 1, this came out just before the show started. Utah State gets their interim athletic director.
Sandy Barber.
She's coming from Penn State. She was the actually former vice president for intercollegiate athletics at Penn State. She has held leadership roles at Cal, Notre Dame, Tulane, Northwestern, and, again, Penn State. Currently, she is a senior advisor at Huron for intercollegiate athletics, where she supports universities in developing long-term athletic strategies, refining businesses and financial models, assessing facility feasibility, ensuring leadership continuity, and prioritizing student-athlete well-being. Do you want me to read the quote from Al Smith, interim president?
Sure.
Quote, Barber and the team at Huron bring extensive experience and expertise in championship-level D1 athletics, including NIL, operations, finance, recruiting, facilities management, and marketing. They will provide a valuable national perspective on the evolving college athletics landscape and our transition into the Pac-12, while also bringing stability to our athletics leadership team. Ben?
So no news?
Yeah, interim.
Yeah, we're just waiting for a full-time president, and that full-time president will bring in the next person.
This kind of smacks to me of they're hiring like a search firm or a consulting firm, and they're hiring a person who works for the consulting firm.
Scotty was tweeting about it earlier, somebody who's going to help oversee this whole process.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
I mean, it's not Gary Anderson.
At least not yet, but we'll see if he ends up taking a role.
Well, but that was the rumor yesterday, right? That he was going to be the interim AD.
I think the report was he was going to play a role. I don't think he was ever going to be the guy.
So I don't know. I had some Utah State fan. You got me into some snap talk mess yesterday with the Utah State fans.
Doug Fifia, by the way, is who Scotty's talking about.
I'm more than willing to ignore. But somebody who was rattling off her credentials to me. Saying, see, would she take a bad job? First of all, this isn't the person who's going to be taking the job.
Right.
And second of all, like her qualification is that she works for a consulting company that is obviously helping Utah State
find the next person.
And
they will sit in the role until then. Yeah. I hate to be dismissive of this. Yeah, we're just waiting for the next news. This is a person in transition to the next person.
Right. So why are you dragging her credentials in my face? I don't care. She's not taking the job. And in fact, she's not even in the business anymore. She's in the business of consulting with major universities, which I think is frankly a waste of money for the universities, but it's not me making the decision.
The person making this decision hasn't even been hired yet.
Right.
That's the president. So, no, look, Utah State's at a very difficult point, potentially promising going to the Pac-12. Not that the Pac-12 today is what it was 5 years ago or 20 years ago from there, but it's better than being in what will be the Mountain West Conference 2 years from now. So that's promising for Utah State. And you've got to make sure you've got the right people and got to make sure you've got the right president and athletic director and coaches, et cetera. It's all going to be really very important.
My point yesterday, and it is a bad job, depending on how you look at it, honestly. And it's a bad job in a sense that you're not going to get a overly qualified AD at a giant school to jump ship and come to your university because it's not a particularly great job. You think the Ohio State athletic director has to have a brain? No.
Is it better than any P4 jobs?
But here's the thing. It's called perspective. And my overall point when we were talking about this was hire somebody local who can do a good job and wants to stay for other reasons than it's a powerhouse job. That was my entire point.
Yeah.
Look for somebody local who wants to be here, who knows how things work, who knows the culture, and can stay and do a good job.
Yeah.
That was my entire point. And you know who Utah State was a good job for? Jerry Bovee when he was at Weber State.
Yeah.
And again, putting the lawsuit and everything aside, he would have been a great hire. He was doing a great job at Weber State. He really wanted the Utah State job. That would have been a great job for Jerry.
Yeah.
Now, would it have been a great job for Jack Swarbuck, who's the AD at Notre Dame?
No.
No.
Yeah.
So it's all about perspective. If you really want to get into the semantics of good job, bad job, well, who are you talking to? And for Utah State fans who think that they're going to get the world's most qualified AD to come in with the world's greatest resume and do the world's greatest job, well, that AD is going to be there for 10 minutes, which again was my point yesterday.
Yeah.
On why to hire somebody local. So if we really want to debate good job, bad job, and the stupid rhetorical language around all this, well, who are you talking to? Because that's the point. Find somebody who Utah State is a great job for them. Utah State was a great job for Gary Anderson when he took it the first time.
Right.
I can tell you for a fact that he wanted that job. He campaigned for that job. That was a great job for him at that point in his career. But when Brent Guy was there, would we have looked at Utah State and go, oh, that's a great job? No, because it's really not. But it was a great job for Gary Anderson.
I will say for Utah State at a different job, I'm not sure if I was having a coach take over for the very first year of his tenure. At Utah State, there's a better fit than Bronco Mendenhall. Bronco can do all of it. He's been around long enough. He's dealt with all sorts of different front offices, I should say athletic departments. He's had I don't want to say a weird one, but a unique one at BYU, and then a different one at Virginia, and a different one in New Mexico. Going to Utah State, he's well-versed in our state. He's well-versed in the culture. He's well-versed in what goes and what doesn't go. He knows Utah State's history, and he can control all of it.
Oh, I don't think Bronco's going anywhere. I don't think Calhoun's going anywhere either.
So I think this is a really good... If you're Utah State and you're in flux and you're going to the Pac-12 next year and you've got all these things that are up in the air, Bronco settles everything down in a very good way.
Yeah, and that makes it maybe a more attractive job, I guess, because you kind of have the big pieces of the puzzle in place, or at least it would appear.
Some people would say it makes it a bad job.
Yeah.
They want to hire their own people.
Oh, no, there's risk in that. I want to take a job where it's already done, Ben.
Well, yeah, I would love it if it's Kyle Whittingham.
I want to take a
Yeah.
Well, so that's what Mark Harlan takes. Take a job. Well,
Yeah.
you've got football figured out, at least
Yep.
for the short term.
Right.
All right. What's next?
Number 2, the Jazz wrap up their wonderful summer league tonight.
I hate to
Ben's
say...
flying to Vegas after the show.
You got to go see the last game. We will see. I don't, expect to have Walt Clayton or Ace Bailey thrown out there for one more game if they've been battling injuries that have kept them out through all of, or most of Vegas. Ace has not played since whatever it was last Monday in Salt Lake City, so I don't know if we're going to see him. I will give you the updated injury report if I get it before the end of the show. And same with Walt Clayton, who's dealing with a hamstring injury. I think it was extraordinarily successful for Bryce Sensabaugh and Kyle Filipowski, and I think Cody has taken steps in the right direction, which is you want
I'd
to
put
see.
Cody in that category, sure. He looked good.
He's not worse.
No.
Which is really important. If he had looked worse in his year 2, you would have, to get back to our conversation in the first segment, maybe started to wonder if it's time to give up on Cody already. And he's trending in the right direction. So that's promising.
Absolutely.
And
he played confidently. That's the biggest thing.
yeah. And I would imagine, maybe he doesn't, but why not let him play tonight? One more game, go out there, Cody. You're not going to probably get that many minutes in the regular season, so go play 30 again.
Let everybody play.
Yeah.
Fly Lowry in.
Go down there and play.
Why not?
And Ace had one great game. Walt had several very good games, so I thought it was successful. Isaiah Collier probably the most disappointing of the group, and even then he just was still Isaiah Collier, and I think is probably up there if not leading the summer league in assists per game. So we know what he can do.
All right, what's next?
Number 3, Damian Lillard yesterday signs a 3-year deal to go back to the Trailblazers.
I don't think he's going to leave again. But there is the weird part. You say 3 years. Well, he's not going to play all of next year because of the Achilles. Then it's a 1-year deal because he's got a player option for the 3rd year. So if he plays well in his return, he could opt out. But if he opts out, he probably just gets another contract with the Trailblazers. I don't think we're going to see him gallivanting around the NBA to end his career because he's already 35. He'll return when he's 36. And then he's, opting in at 37 for whatever or trying to get a new contract. I think he's back in Portland, and I think it's going to be his last stop.
I told this to David James this morning, but I know why Dame did it. He got a 3rd year from Portland. There's no rationale for giving Damian Lillard a 3rd year at his age coming off of that injury. The logic of signing him for 2 years barely made sense to me, and that's just basically guaranteeing that you get him for at least 1 year.
Yeah.
And he can't go anywhere else. But I was shocked. 3 years? I mean, that's why Dame made the decision, because nobody else was going to give him 3 years.
You talked about Larry H. Miller offering Karl Malone like $25 million in his last year and passing it to take up $4 million or $2 million from the Lakers. Yeah, you give some of these legend contracts. You just let them continue to make as much money, and you try and make them whole on the back end.
See, I think it's more than that, though. I'm sure Portland wants to be loyal to him and all that stuff, but I think Portland thinks they're closer than they are.
And maybe 3 years from now, they're okay.
Portland was trying last year, and they missed the play-in only by a couple of games. They think they're where Houston was 3 years ago.
I mean, it's why they went and got Drew Holiday. It's a win-now player.
They think that they're close to a breakthrough. Now, I think they're not, but they do. So I actually think this is more than a legacy contract. I think they think Dame can help put them over the top, be their Fred VanVleet.
Yeah, maybe.
Absolutely not on this planet, not unless something crazy changes
maybe that's
in Portland.
What they think, but no, I don't think that's going to happen.
That's what they think.
No, I just think it's hard to win with guys like Dame, truthfully. It's just hard to win with
ball dominant guards that don't play defense?
Yeah. As great of a scorer as he is, and he's without question the greatest basketball player ever to come from our state schools. No question about it. He's a lock Hall of Famer, 9 All-Star appearances. He's got 6 All-NBAs. He's an awesome player. But, some of his limitations are hard to mask.
All right, stay tuned. We have an update. Or we'll do our update in the 11 o'clock hour. We've got Bob Casper coming up next. Maybe we'll do our update at we could end the show with it even. I don't know. But we've got an update to you yesterday's Bozo story. This guy submitted himself as the Bozo of the week for sure. So stay tuned for that. Bob Casper, Talking Golf, coming up next, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Accessing.
This is Hans Olsen and Scotty G.
You don't need to get an associate AD from Florida State University who's got no ties to the community, but, he raised this much money at Florida State because he's going to come in thinking he's got a Florida State budget. Guess what? We've met a lot of P5 athletic directors, and a lot of them are duds.
Yeah.
They don't need some dude from a big school who's got this crazy resume because he's going to come in and think that he's got to run it like Ohio State, or he's got to run it like Florida State, or he's got to run it like Michigan. But he doesn't have that money, so he doesn't know how to adapt. He doesn't know how to stretch a dollar. He doesn't know how to do all these things because he's just used to throwing money at problems. Well, you can't do that at Utah State.
So you've done that now. It's not working.
Catch Hans and Scotty weekdays from noon to 3 on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.